JavaScript and PureScript handle package management in strikingly different ways. In JavaScript, you specify the package and the version, and in PureScript, you specify only the package. So how in the world is package compatibility maintained in PureScript, and what does this say about the ecosystem? All right, so PureScript package compatibility is maintained through package sets. So here is a snapshot of core maintainer Thomas Honeyman, core maintainer for the PureScript community, explaining a little bit about how to register a package, but along the way showing you how package compatibility is maintained through basically an automatic process that relies on PureScript's type safety and static type checking to ensure that the compatibility between the packages is maintained. So basically, what he's saying here is that a new package is only released when the build succeeds. So you run the build, it does this some sort of compilation step to ensure compatibility, and if it succeeds, then it's included, updated, adopted, so on. All right, so that's how package sets are maintained. This would be an impossibility with NPM. So there's millions of packages in NPM, Node, web, and mixed. So I'm not sure what the division is there between how many web packages there are versus Node packages versus mixed. But suffice it to say, there's 3.5 million packages or something like that. Now, with Pursuit, which is their PureScript registry, there's something like 1,200 packages with other community maintained packages that don't exist in these, about 1,200 core packages. So, yeah, that had me thinking, is there... one possibility is that PureScript is just not sufficient to, or not production ready, not ready, not able to handle all of the complexity of the modern web. And so that was the big question mark that came up in my mind, was is PureScript and is its associated frameworks for the web, are they ready for production? So I went down that path a little bit. So there are examples of PureScript in production. The main framework there is Halogen. It's the most battle tested, production ready framework. It's over a decade old. It's been around for a while, and it has some notable instances of notable uses by companies out there, like Slam Data, which is the most often cited one. Harder to find other open source projects that use Halogen that are on scale, but there's a good amount of anecdotal evidence of. So here I've got linked a migration. I can't remember which company it is, and I don't think it says in the article either. But where this is where they migrated one of their React apps to PureScript on the front ends, incrementally, and most of these folks come from a Haskell background, from what I could gather. And there's some outdated information in that article, like the tooling, Spago versus Bower. But the tool there to download packages right now is Spago. So that's kind of out of date information in that article. And then there's some anecdotal evidence on Reddit too. So in this particular thread is this user cites 160K lines of code application that's written in Halogen, I believe. So it certainly is used in production, but I wanted to see for myself and kind of form my own opinions. So I started engaging with someone in the community locally. Actually, we've been sort of talking a while about making a really simple app for them, and I've just never had the time. But now seemed like a good opportunity, so I wanted to. It was a great opportunity for me to solve a real world problem for somebody using Halogen. It's basically just a form application that you submit. It has it's styled. It has a little bit of routing, client-side routing. It's a longish form. It has validation. It has some fairly complex state management to handle all the various validations, required, not required, and like when the form is ready to submit, and what validations are the validation methods and so on. It has blobs for like downloading documents and downloading the form essentially. And there's lots of parent-child communication, so there's some instances of hierarchy there, and date manipulation. So that's interesting, and a little bit of foreign function interfacing. So basically with JavaScript. So in this particular application, I used all PureScript core packages. And the conclusion I came to is, like this thing is out there, it's being used, and it's, I was able to do something useful on the web for somebody that was non-trivial. So that's about as much of a conclusion as I can come to thus far. So having kind of ruled out that like PureScript is not that they're not able to maintain package sets because PureScript is like trivial, or like it's not like it's inadequate for the web. I kind of ruled out that line of thinking. It seems adequate for the web. It has a lot of adoption, and it's production ready. Many people consider it production ready, and I was able to use it. So it's not that it's insufficient. So, and yet with just 1,200 packages, the PureScript core community is able to maintain these packages and their compatibility in package sets. So what does that imply? What does this all mean? Well, the first thing I'd say is, and I'm just referencing what Thomas Honeyman, this Discord thread with Thomas Honeyman, is that it's stable. Packages are stable. There's a lot less churn. That means that package sets are stable and the ecosystem is more stable. It's one of the things that I noticed, and that actually made me nervous trying PureScript, is that there's not this frenzy of activity that you'd see with JavaScript. It's a lot, things are slower, but the fact that they're able to maintain all these package and package sets, it speaks volumes, and one of them is stability. The second is quality, and I had the chance to work with this particular PureScript library called PureScript Datetime, and honestly, it was a pleasure. You wouldn't imagine that working with dates in JavaScript is a pleasure, really. My particular situation was like I needed the user to input like year, month, day, representing their age, right? And then what I wanted to do was just use date instances and date durations to calculate differences of like when they're born and what should be the legal age, and determine if they're of age or not for this particular form input. And so, there's a little bit of complexity. There's some parsing, there's some validating, there's some duration calculations. And what I noticed was, I had to code out every in true PureScript style, I had to code out every scenario. But when it compiled, I went to the form and it just worked. Like all the validation states worked. I mean, it was an absolute pleasure to work with, I'd say. Compare that with JavaScript, Moment.js or these other libraries. It's just like, it's an absolute pleasure. And if you want to check out like just how insane JavaScript dates are, you can go to this. I'll make sure to link to it in the description, but it's jsdate.wtf, and it's JavaScript dates are hilariously bad. The mechanism there for handling dates is just bad. It's really bad. So honestly, it was nice to see the quality of something, or the contrast in PureScript with something like dates. So and you could say one sort of corollary of quality is that you might be able to infer from this that like all of the numerous amount of packages that there are in npm, even if half of them or a third of them are just for the web, there's just so many more of them. And if you can solve a problem in PureScript or solve it in JavaScript, and one ecosystem has on the orders of, I don't know what the order is of difference, but what would that be on the spot? Like 1,000 times more or something like that. More packages. Like it says something about the community, right? They need more packages to solve the same problems for the same web that we're all using, as opposed to PureScript, which only has 1,200 core packages. But as far as I could tell in my little project, it seemed to cover many of the common corners that you need to deal with on the web. The third implication is safety. The JavaScript ecosystem packages are released and they're broken, and that has to do more with the values of the system, of the ecosystem in JavaScript. The value is definitely more about speed and agility, and it tolerates more errors. But that pushes the burden of maintenance and updates and onto downstream projects, and it causes a lot of churn. But that is the value of those kind of lean more towards the values of the JavaScript ecosystem. But with PureScript packages, because you have type safety, you have package set safety, and you have ecosystem and application safety. So in the same way that broken packages trickle down in the JavaScript community to downstream, you have the same effect with PureScript, right? One good foundation leads to another good foundation, which ultimately leads to more stability, more safety in the ecosystem and in applications. So, what I've probably missed some things about what this might imply, and I'm curious to know what you all think. What else do package sets in PureScript imply about the ecosystem? Let me know in the comment section. And I've limited the discussion just to what package sets imply, but I'm sure there's a whole set of values that are implied by this as well. And that would actually be a nice follow-up video, which I'll link here at some point. If you enjoyed this subject and you'd like to see more, be sure to click the link in the description and subscribe to my mailing list. Subscribers will get timely notifications of my videos as well as access to my personal email. Thanks now.